Hello.
Hi.
Do you notice how Danielle pointed for me to say hello first as usual? So
Hi.
just in case anybody doesn't remember us, welcome back to a Gossip with Friends
In
with
case
two friends
anybody's
that lost the
forgotten.
plot. Well, one friend lost the plot. We'll get into that, right? So one has lost the plot, the other one just lost lots of people. Sorry,
Oh, well,
sorry, that
another
was.
one bites the dust.
And another one bites,
Oh,
and another one bites. And she keeps pulling that too hard because
squeeze.
it's the summer and her husband's working too much.
Oh, God, I can't do anything right today.
We were meant to
Oh,
record this yesterday. I don't know if you
we
can
meant to
see.
record this last Monday.
We were met right. So I told you last week there was going to be one, and then Danielle went AWOL. What happened last week?
Last week we had a bit of everything going on,
That's
remember?
right. So then we were recording it on Monday. Monday never happened. Then we were recording it on Tuesday. By the time Wednesday came, we just stopped talking about recording. Then
Aye.
this week we were recording it yesterday. Then we were recording it
Wednesday.
morning.
We're recording it on Tuesday. Then we
Then we
recording it.
changed it to the night. And then Danielle said to me, she's a pure Egypt, man. She
It's all right,
says
people.
she only got in the house, about 45 minutes ago, and she went, oh, I still need to get ready. I still need to do this. I still need to do that. So I'm sitting playing solitaire on my laptop, and I got an email saying that she was sitting waiting for me to join the Zoom
Hey,
call. And I was
actually, did
like,
you not
oh.
get like did you not get like a notification to say there's somebody waiting in your
Did you all just hear what I said? Or was it just Danielle that didn't listen? I just said, I got an email while I was playing solitaire to say
I
that
thought you
you were
said she
waiting.
messaged me and says I'm waiting because I did message you and say I'm waiting as well. I'm sure you did say that. You're
Embry.
playing funny buggers with me.
Aye. Listen, somebody got into my psyche or whatever it's called and made me have another mental breakdown for 2 months. So just you calm down.
It's all right. I lost another few family members, so we're winning.
I've lost a couple of
Oh,
pals.
that sounded terrible. I didn't mean to say we're winning. What I meant is like what between each other. Oh, for fuck's
Because
sake. Oh,
is it a
there's
competition? If it's a competition, let's go.
but mine, mine's are in the graveyard, my competition.
Mine too. That's what I'm talking about. It's a competition about how many people you've lost. Listen, mental health matters, by the way.
Oh, gonna show me your other thing that you showed me that you said you're gonna get me one.
Oh, my wee. Did I tell you, right? So I had to go and take my mum to the florist because we're going to our 50th wedding anniversary thing tomorrow. So she was going down to order flowers, and next door to the florist, so I was going to say flower shop, but that's the same thing. There's a tattoo shop, and I was like, oh, I can't walk by without making an appointment. Never been to this tattoo shop, but I have talked to them and I have seen their stuff. I follow them on Instagram. So I goes in and I'm pushing and pulling the door and it wouldn't open. So then I sees a sign inside the shop, but this is where my blonde brain comes into it, right? So there was a sign in, so there's a wee, you go in a door and then it's like a wee sort of bit, and then there's another door. And on
Mm.
that door it says press bell and somebody will come. So I pressed the bell on the outside, thinking somebody would still come to me, but they didn't. Anyway, what you wanted to see was this. I'll get over it. I just need to be dramatic first. That should have my name. That should have my picture. I mean, that's what I look like. They're a big fat elephant, but we're just being dramatic. Listen, we're dramatic every day. And then I got another wee one as well. I might as well show you the two of them because do you know how I'm going to get a new house, but I've not got it yet?
Yeah.
Cam, Camden.
Campton, pal.
Um, Home is where my boys are. So my oldest came into me the night and he's like, I mean, I really need somewhere to fix cars. And I says, I know I'm trying. I'm trying here. Try to get a house with a driveway and a garage or a whatever. Um, He says, because it's nearly winter. I went, well, it's not quite, but I'm a trying. He went, you've been trying since last year. Many houses have I went to look at, and I swear, I
How
don't
many,
know,
actually, how many have you looked at in the past 2 months?
one,
One or few?
one,
I think I've been
two,
in every house with you.
4, 5, 6, I think eight. I think about eight houses I've been to see. Do you remember the first one? Right, so here's a story for you. This is just the typical thing that would happen to me or you. So, the first one, I was got to see it, and it was like, I think it was January, February. So it was still quite dark, but it was like 6, 7 o'clock at night, but it was still dark because it was still winter. And I walks up and I could see a light, like see like a wee torchlight.
I'm seeing the light.
Aye, take me to the light. So I thought right, so there's a porch, but it was like glass. So I thought the person was inside the porch on the flare looking for something on their torch. So I'm chatting, but they were at the side, so they must have one of the wee boxes that you put your keys in and it's got like a combination. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
One of the wee lockbox things. So she must have been trying to get her keys out. So then she goes to open the door and she couldn't get the door opened. So I think she just thought because it was the winter, the door was warped. So she says, right, I'll go in through the back and then I'll come in and I'll open the door for the inside. And I said, right,
The job
okay.
is warped because it's winter.
Aye, because the dampness and the cold and everything expands the door. See, like with the dampness and the cold and then the heat for the inside and whatever. I don't know the full technicalities of it, right? But it like, so in the winter your door swells and then in the summer it shrinks. A bit like I want my body to do, but it doesn't happen. So she goes inside and she still couldn't get it open for the inside. So then she comes back out and she's standing at the back gate and I went, do you want us just to come in through the back? Because I had my two sons with me as well. And she's like, aye. But she had a padlock on the gate and it was like a number cut. Well, could she get it opened? No. But there's this gap about that between the gate and the fence because she was waiting to get a new fence. So I was like, do you want us just to climb through there? So she says, aye. So that was fine. She takes us all around the house and we sees it. See, by the time I get home, I was like, what if I've just broke into some random person's house?
You know.
But I didn't stay letting and I didn't take the house, so I'm safe.
Oh, but
But
your fingerprints are all over the fence, your
aye, but
fingerprints
then
are all over
sure,
the...
last week I went to go and see another house last Friday and it was next door to that one. And I was like, oh, can you imagine that woman that owns that house comes out and she's like, you're my house. Yes, but you were asking a bit too much money for it, hen.
Aye.
So
So,
the
oh,
moral of that story is there's too many people going for houses just now and can you wrap it until I get one, please?
yes, Aileen has to find her house first.
I
So,
just called to say, um, no, our house is 2 weeks. It's not that I want a house and like I'm being, what's that word? Dramatic. Um, but,
oh, I've no broke it, I had it on upside down.
oh God, I did it. But we had it, but our house isn't big enough. So it's like three adults, none of us are in a relationship with each other because it's me and my two sons. Three adults in a two-bedroom house. I'm in a living room, the two boys are in a bedroom each. And see if you come into my house, it looks as if we're actually moving out because everything's in boxes and whatever because there's just no space. Because I work for the house, I live in my house. Uh, well, that's all you could really can do in a house, isn't it? Work and live.
Yeah, you're never out your house.
Well, I mean, that makes me sound like a pure hermit. I do go out sometimes, just no very much.
So, what's our topics today?
I think we should just tell people like a wee catch up and for because we've had some new followers on social media. I locked us out, but I couldn't remember the passwords for the social media, so Danielle's not been able to log in, but I've changed them so you can log in the night after this. Um,
Aye. Um,
I mean you can only log into TikTok for now because I don't know the passwords for the other stuff. I'm sorry.
that, done. I struggle with TikTok, you know this. Like
But that's
I
a
don't
good way to learn.
I don't know how to work it at all. Like as I've told you, I've had a TikTok for what now? When did you set
But
that up for me? Last year?
you're doing well on your singing pirate one.
Hi, but I need to remember to post stuff on it. I take videos and then I forget to post them. That's my problem.
It's not that I forget. I just don't have enough time because I'm trying to deal with everything, trying to find a house, trying to get my son into college, trying to whatever, and then trying to not have another mental breakdown like I just had.
I need to do
Doing
mine like know how
podcast.
you own the app there and then and post it there and then. Because see if I don't, I'll take videos and then they just
So
time
there's
because
different
everything.
ways. Aye, so there's different ways to do it. Other people might be able to come in and tell you a bit more because I'm not very tech minded and you'll all realise that eventually about me if you don't already know me. But you just go in and I'll tell you later. Because there's three options you can no,
I know you can do 15, 30,
fif-
60
fif-
seconds.
15
I do that
seconds.
now and again when I remember if I'm not too busy. Like, but
I
on the
just
boat, it's too busy
always
and
set
I
it for
forget.
10 minutes and then I just always set it for 10 minutes and then you kind of go at it. But you can stop it at any time.
Mm,
Unless you've
yeah.
just got to do a wee 30-second one.
I usually just do the 60-second ones because I've not got time to hold my phone about
Can
anyhow.
you hear my son?
I'm busy.
Can I hear my son because you're busy?
No, I'm talking about holding the phone. No, I can't hear him. How?
He's pure burping away out there. I know. So
Right, shut up.
the whole point to that conversation that Danielle just took at a whole other road was we've got some new followers. I will blame you because listen, I get the blame for everything. Um, we've got some new followers. So
Yeah,
just for
no.
anybody
Where are
that
they from?
doesn't, do you want to give them? Because this might be the first time people have got to see it.
Because I've got something I want to talk about anyhow,
Oh.
like what I was meant to talk about before for our
Have,
last episode, and I
have I
just
done
want to bring it up.
have I done something wrong?
No, it's not about you,
I'm
it's about
always
one
in
of my
trouble.
followers,
You like,
remember?
oh,
And I
that.
just want to bring it up and address the actual thing.
And I said I'm staying out yet because
I've just seen what you sent me.
what did I say?
You sent me something on Facebook.
All right. I said I'm staying out of this for
I'm not being ignorant. I'm trying to get into my emails because I want to address this in the
right.
correct
So
way.
while she's trying to find her email, anybody that's just started that this is your first episode that you're watching, because I think we only done a couple before this, and then Aileen had a mental breakdown, so we went off, and then the two years had a couple of um people in my lives that passed away and things like that. So it just took us a bit longer to come back. Um, so I'm Aileen. That's Danielle. I live in Glasgow. Danielle's originally from Glasgow, as you can tell by her fantastic tones. But she lives in Turkey now. She's lives with her husband. She's got two kids. I've got two kids. Mine's are grown up. Hers are still tiny tots that run riot. Um, we've been pals for what, about 17, 18 years. And then
What age is the young?
my youngest is got to be 19 this year, so it'll be coming up in 18 year,
Aye, 18
something
now.
like that. Aye, 'cause he was nearly one.
Hmm.
So, yes, and Danielle sings for a living in Turkey. And contrary to what I've just told you about my mental health, I'm a therapist. I'm a counsellor and a business coach and a wellness coach and a life coach. And I've got three podcasts, including this one with Danielle. I also have a business podcast and a mental health podcast. So, aye, have you found that email yet? Because I don't think I've got anything else to say about us.
No, I'm going to just jump in while I'm saying this.
I used to be the skinny pal and then I became fat. I'm trying to be a skinny pal again.
Where did
Um,
you send that for?
I'm very blonde, and you'll realise that as the conversations go on. And that's no hate towards any blondes, but I am your stereotypical blonde. Is that even the right word I said?
Right, so I've found it.
Have you found it? Right, I'm just
Yeah.
got to sit back and let Danielle
So,
talk
do
because
you
I said
want
I'm
me?
taking nothing to do with this one.
Do you think I should actually read the email out to people? Yeah, I will actually read the email out
Right,
because,
but remember they don't want you to give any names. It's anonymous.
but that's fine. There's no names in it, I don't think.
There is, but not just in the actual. There's no names in the email. Just who sent it.
Ah, no, I wouldn't do that anyhow. But it's anonymous. But
Can I wear a mask?
uh, the thing is,
Right, so me and Danielle weren't 100%. We don't. We weren't 100% sure whether this was coming from a
trolls or
genuine,
whether it's
whether
genuine.
it was a genuine email of somebody asking for advice, or whether it was somebody taking the absolute piss. And they did email a couple of times because obviously we never came back on.
So I'm just going
The,
to address it
the
as it
same,
is.
basically the same questions, the same topics. They kept emailing about it. Now, if this is genuine, we'll give you a genuine answer. If it's not genuine, then
You can do
somebody else,
whatever you want
somebody
with the
else
answer,
might,
pal.
somebody else might want that answer, but I'm staying out of it.
That's fine. I'll go. All guns blazing.
We'll leave it to Danielle. On you go
So,
then.
hello, ladies.
Hello.
Me and my partner, girlfriend, fiance, soon to be wife, need your assistance, advice, helps, tips, tricks, tools, ideas, info, opinions, thoughts, feedback, guidance, support. If you need me to slow down our subtitles, I can get this added at the end, don't worry.
Honey.
Back to the story. We are both in our 20s, as well from the UK. So basically,
Maiden.
we both had
You
sex.
see me now.
And now
Sorry.
we're expecting our first baby together. Can I just say before I continue with this, the reason we're laughing is after you hear this, you're going to understand. Like, we're not like this when people do genuinely want advice off us, but this is throws back a wee bit. But I will try my best to answer the questions as possible. So we're at the part they've had sex. Now they're expecting their first baby very soon. We are also hoping to have a
Baby might be
baby
born by
boy
now because
son.
we got this email a couple of months
I was
ago.
going to say that. The rain's probably here by now. We're also hoping to have a baby boy son later down the road if things go to plan with planning for a second child together anyway. I want to know, or we both want to know, what's the best ways are to engage, bond, interact, love on my girlfriend's belly button, baby bump during her pregnancy. Is kissing her belly button, baby bump a good idea? Or cuddling her belly, baby bump, or loving on her belly, or making farting noises on her belly with my mouth by doing belly farts, belly blows, belly raspberries, zerbits on her belly. That's paragraph 1 finished. Let's go to paragraph 2. Will I address that paragraph the news I see fit?
Good
Or
day,
will I...
you. Good day.
The podcast usually is gossip with friends, but this one's changed to gossip with a friend because one's greeting. Oh, God.
Fantastic. I'm sorry.
So,
I mean, if this is a real email, I'm sorry for laughing, but it's just because it's the words I'm very immature.
So anyhow, I'll address this one at the first part. You should be blessed by if it's a boy or a girl. Don't expect anything. Whatever you have, you'll be blessed with. The part about her being pregnant and how you engage, bond, interact, blowing bubbles or whatever it is you want to do on a baby bump, that's completely
I'm
down to the
glad you didn't say
individual
whatever
herself.
you want to blow.
Aye. That is only yous can decide what yous are most comfortable with.
Oh,
Me, I like putting music to my belly and letting my Waynes hear music. But listen,
And then she
whatever
had
tickles your fancy.
musical names.
So, next one. Also, can you recommend, suggest any good baby child books that we could both consider getting for our daughter? So that way one of us or both of us can read to her whenever she wants. One of us or both of us to once she's old enough to be read to. Especially during her bedtime routines at night time, while one of us is getting her for bed changed into her PJ while blowing raspberries on her belly and settling her down with a bedtime story. Once her belly being blown on by me or her mum.
I'm
Also
sweating.
books catered geared towards 1 to 12 months old or up to 1 to 12 years old. Well, pal. I don't know what your Wayne's going to be into. Some Waynes are into Disney, some Waynes are into Peppa Pig.
Mine's like Postman Pat.
Or the tweenies.
Oh.
You can your health visitor will advise you about baby books and stuff, and you can go to the library, and I'm
You
sure
can
the
go to the
librarian
library.
would help you about stuff like that.
In different bookshops, they'll be able to tell you for different age groups.
Yeah. Also, can you recommend, suggest any good baby child TV shows, channels, programs, cartoons that she could watch, or ones that we could both watch together with her as a family together?
I love you, you love me.
I
We
don't recommend
are
Barney.
a happy family with
I
a
mean,
great
Aileen loves
big
Barney. I
family
don't recommend it.
to
I don't
you.
recommend the tweenies either because they've
The
been done
reason,
that
the reason
much.
she doesn't like them is because my son played them on loop for about 4 years.
I will tell you a show that is good, but that I've noticed for Wayne C on YouTube. I think it's called Simply Being. It's all the nursery rhymes and all that. They sing. I like that
There's
wee
a
one.
new one they all talk about, and it's
Quite
fruit,
good.
isn't it, that's dancing?
Aye, it's that. It's all
Is
part of
it?
that. That's quite good. That's good. So, aye, like this one's a bit. Get ready, Eileen. You got the
Oh no,
hankies next to you.
no, don't do this to me.
Also,
Also,
you ready? Deep
I'm ready.
breath, Eileen. Our belly farts, baby blows, belly raspberries, there, bits are tickling, good for the brain, motor skills, sensory development.
Don't know. I'm only a counsellor. I'm not a neuroscientist.
I mean, kids like,
Well, the thing is, they do say that when you talk to the bump or the noise, the surrounding noises, if they hear them often, then they recognise them when they're born. But I don't think they'll be able to feel, so they won't recognise the sense of that feeling. And every baby's different. Like some like being all
yes.
wrapped up, some don't. Like my oldest, he liked to be wrapped up in his shawl when he was born. My youngest hated it. He didn't like to be confined in it, and he didn't even like his car seat. Um, some will like you tickling them, the same as adults. Some won't, the same as adults. I don't know. You just need to go with the flow. Shh, don't. I'm trying to keep my composure here.
You
So
could talk to your health visitor about
it's
that.
trial and error.
Everybody's
Even
different.
things, even but with that, there's nothing your health visitor can say because everybody's different. So the same as every adult and every child's different, every baby's different. So it's you try, and if your baby doesn't like it, you don't do it again.
So the next part.
I try to be good.
Also, could you recommend, suggest any good baby child bonding activities that we could do together with her when we're either bonding together with her or engaging, interacting with her or playing with her or loving her? So we both want to know how implement and cooperate belly farts, belly blows, belly raspberries, zerbits or tickling into any of these with her. Also, can you recommend, suggest how we can both implement and cooperate belly farts, belly blows, belly raspberries, zerbits or tickling into our daughter's bath times, bedtimes, routines and how to make them more funny, silliness for during her bath or while we're getting ready for bed and how to make bath times more enjoyable for her. Right.
Again, it's trial and error because some babies like water, some don't. Some like it getting splashed out of them, some don't.
I'm going to be brutal.
I'm trying to be nice.
I think we might get cancelled after I say
Bad
that.
cop. That's all right. I've got another 2 podcasts.
This person's obsessed with belly farts, belly blows, belly raspberries, these things, right? No, I mean,
But they're only young. Just a young boy.
but I don't know. I mean, I hope you all know that, like, Aileen is a real therapist. So, see if your baby doesn't like the belly farts, blows, raspberries,
Don't come to me. I don't.
You've got a good therapist, son, because I think you'll need it if they don't like it.
Well, you
because
can
you're
come to me,
obsessed.
but don't bring your baby. I don't counsel babies. I don't talk yet.
So here we go again, back again. Also, can you suggest any good ways of making your daughter giggle, laugh, is tickling her belly a good way, or kissing her belly button, or making farting noises all over her tummy by blowing into the AKA belly farts, belly blows, belly raspberries, zerbits, or tickling. Also, can we start belly blowing off super early with her? See this, I don't even want to read this because it's actually like, I know we're meant to be like pure like gay advice and all that,
Well,
but
we're not, because this isn't a professional podcast and I'm not working. So
this
it's
this
it's
is
called Gossip with Friends. It's no come get therapy with me.
I mean, I could like genuinely say this is how we went offline for 2 months.
I mean, I was scared.
We were trying the belly farts and belly blows
There was no way I was, I mean, you seen my response. There was no way I could read that email. And this isn't any hate towards the person that wrote in, but
Oh no, but that isn't even halfway. Like, we're not even halfway through
I
it.
know Danielle, Danielle went, yeah. So the thing is,
No, it gets better. They want to know if we can choose what type of belly button their baby has.
what does it say?
Also, we would both want to know if we both get to choose what type of belly button our daughter or our son has in the future.
So the
Either they
thing
have
is,
an innie or an outie, or does it depend on how the umbilical cord heals once it falls off after birth? I myself have an outie belly button, so I'm wondering if it's possible for her child to have an outie or an innie. They say some children can take looks from their parents in most ways.
wait,
Do you think that's why he's obsessed with belly blown? They try to blow his outie in?
so the thing is,
Oh.
but it's no build a bear you're going to get a baby. It builds itself inside the mummy's womb.
But that's what I mean. Do you think that's why they're so obsessed with this belly blown? Maybe they try to do that because he had an outie.
He wants to blow it back in again.
That's what I'm trying to say. Also, we both want to know what baby gear we should be considering getting, or is there any recommended to us both you have or used in the past? I recommend Georgian Next.
I mean, I don't think he meant by clothes. I think he meant things. So you need a pram, you need a cot, and you need a changing mat. Well, you don't need a changing mat. Do you know what I mean? But a pram and a cot are your necessities. You need a car seat for coming out of hospital because they don't let you at the hospital without a car seat. That's your 3 necessities. If you're going to bottle feed, you need to bottle feed. If your partner's got to breastfeed, then that's fine. But I would have bottles just in case, because there she goes again, breaking the joint. Because breastfeeding doesn't work for everybody. I managed to do it with my first and didn't manage with my second. So it's again, go into all the baby shops and see what they're selling and see what you quite fancy having in your house. And if you want it and you can afford it, get it. And if you can't afford it, don't get it. Simples.
We also want to know when we should be taking her for head to toe assessments or checkups. Any medical team, local GP, health visitor, nurses, they'll get in contact with you for that.
The first 2 weeks, I think it is. Although I've been told now, no, because they're 20, aren't they? I don't know. Your health visitor and your midwife comes to the house for the first couple of weeks, I think. I can't remember. It's been nearly 19 years since I had a baby. So I don't know how it works now.
They're also asking about if they should learn CPR or the Hellman remover in case they ever need to do it. Listen, that's a good thing to learn, like, in case you ever do need to do it.
You can get baby first aid classes and your health visitor or your midwife will be able to tell you where to go for them.
And then they've just asked us to cover it. So I do hope that we've covered
And I'm sorry.
a lot of it for you. It's thing made we can be. I'm trying to be a bit straightforward here with you as well. Instead of, because that isn't the only email we actually got. We got a few asking the same questions.
And it was basically the same email.
Yeah, we also want to know how to introduce belly button blown game.
What I would say is don't annoy your baby all the time by blowing on its belly because it will get annoyed with you. Babies need rest, they need sleep, they don't play all the time. They're no dolls or no toys. They need sleep, they need food and they need sleep to grow.
And another wee bit of advice, just like in case it is genuine, don't do the belly blowing raspberries and that after you feed them.
No, go try it. See where it gets you.
Every baby is different. Every person is different. Only you will know your own baby and know what your baby wants.
But listen to what your baby's telling you, and obviously they can't talk, but they'll cry, they'll make noises, they'll do whatever if they don't like something.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, don't keep doing it.
Your email the way you would like it. We're sorry we were a bit laughy, jaffy, but hey.
I mean, you wrote the email, it's your language, wasn't it mine?
Yeah. So anyhow, back to a serious note. Will we tell them what happened to me a couple of weeks ago? Shaky.
Oh, aye. Go. I'm going to laugh at this as well, and this is another serious story, and I'm going to laugh. I was greeting, laughing.
So, a couple of weeks ago, I had phoned Erin because I was feeling off that day. I had a bit of sunstroke. That was like one of these squishing thingies, you know what they call squashies, like a drumstick, they sweeties. And I wasn't feeling great that day. And I had a horrible feeling. Anyhow, I smashed a bottle of my favourite drink. So I was raging. So it was that night, and then I hung up the phone to you, went I went to my bed, thought I'll have an early night, took 2 tablets for my migraine, went to bed.
When she says she looks, what the hell's just happened to me? I've disappeared. Can you still see me?
Aye.
Can you see me now? When she says, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Can you see it?
No, you can't because of the light.
Wait a minute. Because of that light?
The light on your phone's too bright.
Right, wait a minute. How do I take it down?
Are you showing my legs to people, innit?
Because you're talking about it. When she says that's what she looked like. Because you're telling the story, so I'm just getting a wee bit of a visual for them.
I had a wee touch of the sunstroke. So anyhow, I went to my bed that night with migraine tablets. I told Erin I'd phone her the next day. And I went to sleep. Next thing I wake up on the flare with my oldest running to jump on top of me. And I thought, my man's just threw me right out the bed. So I turned around and he was in the bed with me. I look in the living room, see my man getting through off the couch. And there was this alarm coming off my phone. And it was like World War III siren. Whee! I was like, what's going on? Like
something you would hear in the movies.
I was like, what's going on? So then I got myself together and realised we were in the middle of an earthquake. So, like, we shouldn't laugh about things like this because it is a dangerous, scary thing.
But it's the way Danielle tells the story. Because so she phoned me and she was like, oh, the Wayne came in screaming and blah, blah, blah. And the Wayne's mattress was lying on the flare. Like, the poor Wayne fell out the bed, the mattress was on the flare. And all she's thinking about is, I've been woke up.
Mother and my wee, and she was out cold for the full lot.
He slept right through it.
it's actually, the neighbours were all chatting on the door to make sure we were all right, because everybody went out into the streets, and I was like, but I'm not waiting the hurricane up to come out, like, she can sleep.
Aye, so you're in the middle of an earthquake, and you fell out the bed, your husband's fell off the couch, your oldest has fell out the bed, her mattresses went flying where, aye, okay, you're wee and sleeping. Everybody else is out in the street for safety, and Danielle's like, nah, I'm not leaving.
Oh.
We
thing is-
we shall not be moved. She's got a
The
black
thing is,
outfit.
they'll see these things, like, it's no something to joke or laugh about, but, like, at the same time, you can't live in fear about something like that, because the country is known for it, do you know what I mean? So we do joke and laugh in my house about it, for the fact being I want my weans to grow up to know, like, they know the safety procedure, they know what they're meant to do. You go under something, you go to a door frame, like, don't leave while the building's shaking, like, all stuff like this. But Ed here, they actually tell you to keep a bag ready, like, next to your door. But I'm not being funny. See, if it does ever come to that, you're not going to think about picking up that bag anyhow to run out. And no, every night you're going to put chargers and all that in the bag. Like,
But I
just say
see
to
something.
Sheriff, make sure you pick up my dad. Like,
I don't know if this is somebody scaremongering, right? But I seen somebody saying that we've to do that as well. No, to pack a bag that's ready for like 72 hours worth of food.
There's something about a power thing may come to the UK or something like that.
I don't know, but does that
the
mean I'll
power?
save money?
You might do. I just told Sheriff to make sure he picks my dad up and put him in his pocket, because, I mean, if the building goes to rubble, how am I going to find my dad?
Oh, my wee granny's in that cupboard.
You
And
better
my Uncle
get it.
Duncan's in the other cupboard.
You better get rid of it.
They need to wait till I move because I can't get into it. All my work stuff's in front of it.
So yeah, we had an earthquake.
But
The funny thing is, I've got Shorty in
she
here.
was on the phone to me, right? So it was like,
Yeah, she's come in to try to listen to us, right? And she's actually there with the phone up at her head like that, and she's conked it.
you're talking.
No, shit gold.
Is she on a bed or is she on the flare?
Couch.
On the couch. She phoned me at quarter. Was it
I
quarter?
would show you, but I'll show you later on.
Aye.
Know how my corner couch, like, know how you either lie up straight up one way and
Aye.
that way? He's lying diagonal across the corner, so he's on one part and her legs are on the
Just to make sure nobody else sits beside her. She phoned. What was it? You phoned me about 1:15, 1:30 in the morning. She on the phone to me at 2 in the morning. And by the way, see in that half hour, she hadn't checked on the wee one yet. So she didn't even know she was sleeping. She could have been lying on the floor on her mattress day.
But isn't it, I mean, I seen that she was sleeping. I just didn't go up, like, because then when I did check her, she woke up and started bawling and shouting at me, would you wake me up?
I know. And then she says the next day, because Danielle always phones me when she's picking her up for her lunch, and she says, do you remember that hurricane, that earthquake through the night? And the two of us are like, how do you remember it? You slept right through it.
Yeah, because she's heard everybody in school talking about it.
She's funny. Oh no, tell them what she done today.
So I promised her the day, now bear in mind she's 7, I promised her the day if she got 100 on her reading test today, because she gets tested every week on reading.
And she normally gets about 3. She got 70 once, but
And she's had 85 and all, I'll give her due, she's had 85.
she
So I
doesn't
say
care
that
about school.
she's been asking for this toy, so I says to her, if you get 100 on your exam, I'll go and get you this toy. I'll go and get you. So when I picked her up for school today, she went, you dying to know what I got in my test? And she was all happy. And I went, oh, what'd you get? And she went, I don't know, you'll need to wait to go in and see. And I went, well, clearly you've not got 100. And I even done a wee deal, and I says, even if you get 90 or 95, I'll still get you the toy. I says, if you had one of them, as soon as you come out that school, you're telling me we've got to get that toy. So you've not had that today? She went, you'll just need to wait to check my bag when you go in. So I took a paper out the bag and I looked. And it says 100 and a pink pen. But underneath the 100 it was 40 and a red pen. So I says, what's that? Like, it says you got 40 and then it's been 100 wrote on top of it. She went, I mean, the teacher made a mistake, so she had to change
Just
it.
made a wee mistake. So
But the teacher didn't make a mistake.
No.
Harmony decided to write it herself and say, I got 100, can you go and get me the toy? So, aye. So she can write a honey.
Aye. But she's not daft, so she there's is it a QR code or something like that at the back of her workbooks?
On the pages, aye.
And when she's doing her homework, she scans the QR code because when you scan the QR code, it gives you the answers. And she just sits and copies the answers down.
Aye. Or I walk in and find her dad sitting doing her homework.
She's very intelligent, just knowing the way you want her to be.
Aye. I'm getting brain freeze sitting here. God, aircon's right on me.
Well, you're going to get into trouble with your husband. She's been into trouble because she keeps ending up no well, and it's because of the aircon. And he says to her not to use it until they get this thing to put out it, this cover to put out it. And she's got it on because he's no in, they can't get into trouble. So it's on you, on your head be it. Don't tell me at 1 o'clock in
You
the morning.
actually think for 1 minute that he'd get away with getting me into trouble?
I'll back him up. She was trying to get, he's got a shop and he sells like bags and shoes and things like that. And I was trying to get him to get this bag that she liked. And he's trying to kid on to me. He's like, oh, no speak English, no understand. He doesn't want to speak English, let me tell you. Probably speaks better English than me.
I did get the bag and all.
And she got the bag, and she got the shoes, and she got the sunglasses.
Yeah, man.
I just don't want to know what she's done to get them.
Do you know, I just realised that it's actually Father's Day on Sunday.
Oh.
I need to go and get something.
So there. Have you got let off balloons?
I don't know, but what I usually do is obviously on the boat on Sunday night as well is for a private party. So what I usually do if I'm on the boat, I take a wee beer and I pour it into the water for my dad. I might take my dad on the boat with me.
Oh, can I repeat something that I said on my other podcast?
Don't know, it depends what it is.
It's nothing bad. I just want to put out a wee announcement.
Okay.
So I'm stuck. I sent a message, right, to somebody, but I sent it on Facebook. So do you know how when you're no pals with somebody on Facebook and it might go into your other folder, your spam folder or whatever they call it, your something messages. Sometimes if you send a friend's request, it pushes it through. So see if you've been pals with me in any point in the last 46 years, can you please check your spam folder on Facebook? Because I may or I may not have sent you a message, and can you answer my message because I'm a bit impatient.
What about if you cancel the request and send it again? Does it?
I was thinking that I might get blocked.
Well,
I understand people have busy lives. I just want to reconnect. I just want to be friends. I just want to have a chat.
Yeah. I'm not going that far.
Oh, don't you be nasty. Listen. Oh, right. So anybody that knows me knows that I've always kept my circle of friends small. I keep it tiny, and I keep it tiny for a reason, because then you know who you can trust, who you can't trust, and the people that you keep in your life are the people that you really want in your life and whatever else. I've had a lot of shit happen to me in my life, from childhood right through, right? So I tend to have barriers up anyway, but I'm trying to work on that. But if I think somebody's being toxic to me, or if somebody isn't aligning with my beliefs, or not even my beliefs, that is not even right. If somebody, I don't know how to explain it. How would I explain it? If I'm not vibing with somebody or whatever else, then I can quite easily cut somebody out of my life. It genuinely makes no odds to me because the only people that matter to me in my life is my two boys and the people that are good to us and we're good to them. Like yourself, I mean, you're probably the pal that I've kept around the longest. Everybody else I've probably kicked around
As you
because the
really
two of us are
know.
as daft as each other.
No,
What
it's
was the
not.
point?
It's we're loyal. That's the difference. We're loyal to each
Aye,
other.
and we know that we don't judge each other on anything. We don't like. We can say
Well, I wouldn't go that far. We do judge each other. We judge each other more than anybody else would judge us.
no.
We're
What I
not
mean
our
is,
critiques.
we wouldn't like if I was to tell you like what I told you a story about my life no so long ago, and I was scared to tell Danielle because I thought, oh, what if she judged me because I've not told her before or whatever else, right? It wasn't a bad story. Well, it wasn't a
It's
bad
not a bad
story.
story.
It was what somebody's done to me or whatever and how I reacted to it and whatever else. And not that I done anything. I don't mean it like that. I'm digging myself a hole here. What was the point to this story?
I didn't judge you on the story. I was there
No,
for
what
you
was
as
the
a
point of me
parent.
saying?
The point of the saying is about keeping friends round about you. And
I'm perimenopause. Can I just say that so I do forget what I'm talking about half the time? But why did I start talking about keeping small circles of friends? Aye, so I think where I was trying to go with that conversation, where I lost myself down the garden path somewhere. See if you've got loyal friends or good people run about you. Make sure that you're doing as much for them as you expect them to do for you. No, do for each other, but be there for each other. Like give each other the same respect. But if you've got toxic people run about you, it doesn't matter whether it's family, friends, acquaintances, whatever. It doesn't matter how close you are to that person. See if they're toxic in your life and they're bringing you down, then don't keep them in your life because that's a big part of how my mental health problems started. And that's a big part of how my wee sort of mini breakdown I just had there for about 2 months, 3 months, um, picked back up again.
it's not even just about them bringing you down. It's if they're a toxic person in themselves anyway. Like it's
Aye.
to keep it
Like
round
it
about.
doesn't need to be violence, it doesn't need to be they're constantly saying things to you. You'll know yourself if somebody's not aligning with you. You'll know in yourself because they'll phone you and you'll have two minds whether you want to answer the phone or you're going to go somewhere and you know they're going to be there and you don't want to go because they're there. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Like I've got rid of a couple of family members recently, two to be precise, um, because they're very, very toxic and they have been my whole life. But obviously because when you're wee, you're always brought up to just accept and people say sorry to you. When say sorry to each other and everybody's just to accept the sorries. And when you get a bit older and you kind of come out of that phase where you accept the apologies for people, even though you know they don't mean them, then you stop accepting because you start thinking about yourself. You need to put yourself first sometimes. And like me
Aye.
just saying, like I've got a couple of pals who I lost through one family member. One of them I reconnected with a good few years ago. And then the other one I'm trying to reconnect with just now. But whether that happens or not is another story. I've got other pals who it's too late. I can't reconnect with them because they're not here anymore. And I would love to have reconnected with them. But sometimes in your head, sometimes you think, oh, family comes first, but family doesn't always come first.
No.
Especially if they've affected your mental health or affected your life in any way at all.
Of course, like just
Because
because
it's not just my life that's been affected. Both my sons' lives have been affected in different ways because of some people.
yeah.
But I don't mind keeping my circle small. I know a lot of people like to have big circles because that means they've got hundreds of pals and blah 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 and all this, right? But then you don't know who's your real pal sometimes.
That's it.
That's not always the case. Like some people, they genuinely have big circles of pals and they know that every single one of the people are loyal to them. But I just like to keep my circle small because
Aye,
it's
I
very
like
like,
having a small no. Like
I,
I've got lots of people like with my work and all that. Like, I see over 100 to
mhm.
150 people a day. Do you know what I mean? Like different people, and you have like people that you do make friends with, and you have people that. But my circle, I can count on one hand who my fiver. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Who
Same
my
as,
go-to
see, I mean,
is.
I've got three pals that I would, aye. Well, I've got you, I would phone about anything. And then I've got another pal who I'd phone about some things, but no others. And then I've got one other pal who I would talk to, but know about anything too personal. And
Mhm.
that's not because I don't trust her. It's just we don't. That's not a close pal like you and that other person. But then one of the family members that I've just cut out, I've lost relationships with not just pals, with like ex boyfriends or whatever else, or I've been too scared to get into relationships or whatever in case she or he or whatever ruined it. Um, I mean, I've had relationships over the years, and you know yourself, I've no introduced, obviously, I don't have a boyfriend now, but ex-boyfriends to my family
Mhm.
because certain family members, not just one, a couple, uh, for different reasons. One for one reason, another for another reason. Um, but it's mad. But, oh, sh will I tell you a wee secret? Well, I've told you. Who likes reading? Hands up, put your hands up in the air, put your hands up in the air. Um, if you
Let me
like
see.
reading and you like gossip, keep your eyes peeled because I might have something coming in the not so distant future. This is where me and Danielle get confused, right? Because I don't know about any news, but see the whole fiction, non-fiction, me and Danielle get confused about it. So I've got to say fact or fiction before I start talking about what one I'm talking about. So non-fiction is obviously true and fiction is not true. Fictional. So I am writing a fictional book based on a non-fiction story. The reason I'm doing that is so I can't get sued. I mean, the person can't sue me anyway because I've not got the money, but that's that by the by. There's always what's his name? What's that lawyer? Digby Brown. He takes everybody on.
I was going to say Tom Jarity, that the the old lawyer from America that's getting sued for all the fraud and all that.
Oh, I've not seen that. So yes, if you like reading and you're a nosy Parker like me and Danielle, then I might have something coming. And if you think it's about you, probably is.
Yeah, but
But I think now is the time for me to potentially start dating again.
spread your wings, or maybe
Spread something. Um, Danielle, imagine thinking like that.
I don't think about
So
it.
yes, me and Danielle were talking about it the other day, and I've put it off for a couple of years. I started writing it a couple of years ago, but the bit that I started writing, that's probably going to go towards a different book. Um, I did phone my mum, and my mum's like, "Oh no, she started
Aye.
again." So yes, might have something coming soon. Well, not soon because it might take me a while even just to think of a name. Um, but aye, how exciting for somebody.
Yeah.
So see if you're a publisher or if you've ever had a book published, want to write in and give me some tips because I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
Yeah, man.
And you might have stuff or you might not have stuff. Yeah, I could be a millionaire now. But lot
Again.
there. Aye, but I won't find out till tomorrow because I done it on the app. So, if anybody's going to Turkey this year, actually, well, I don't think we've mentioned this, have we? I'll try and put a link on, what do you call it? Facebook. You've not got a page. No, you've not
My
got the page
page,
on
because I
Facebook,
lost my
have you?
Facebook last
Right.
year, I've lost
See
the
if you're on
page.
TikTok, see if you follow Danielle's page, which I always tag it anyway in all our posts, is the Singing Pirate. Then you'll get to, and you can message her on there to find out about going on the boat, well, the ship that she does, so her karaoke ship thing that she does at night, her party boat. It goes out, what, a Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday night.
Yeah, it goes out every day of the week, but on
And then
night
it goes
time.
out, aye, it goes out during the day as well, but Danielle's only on it a Tuesday, Thursday to
If
Saturday.
anybody that's watching it has ever been to Marmaris, you'll probably know it's called Big Boss. The Big Boss ship, our Big Boss is just adults only now, and then we've got the Big Boss Diamond, which is the pirate ship. That's family friendly,
And Danielle's a singing pirate.
and I'm the singing pirate. Aye,
Although the last, twice you've been on the boat, you've not dressed up as a pirate, have you? Because you're like, "Ah, it's too hot. I'm not putting
No,
makeup
it's
on.
just fans.
I'm
I've no just
sweating."
fans.
She can't
I've
handle
done
the
it.
heat this year.
No, getting too old.
She used to come home every winter for 6 months and her husband would go and work elsewhere. And then once the wind started school, you stopped doing that, didn't you? But no, we made a joke yesterday and I think your mother-in-law said it as well, didn't she? And I was like, oh, I think you need to come back to Glasgow for the summer. It's too hot for you there. I did try and get her to move back, but she's not having any of it.
Nah.
Although we did talk the day kind of jokingly, but seriously, well, no, quite seriously, about I've got something that I want to do, which will be
Oh
abroad
yeah.
somewhere. And she said, I had initially thought about doing it in Portugal, just because I've always loved Portugal. And it's quite a peaceful place. And then I thought Greece, and she's like, well, why don't you come and do it here? So that could be something that might happen in the next year or two. We'll need to wait
Why
and
not?
see. Need to check insurances and all that, and different countries have different rules, and so we might end up doing something together, apart from the podcast.
Why do I always get brought into something together? Like, I says I'd
It was
help
your
you. You're
idea
like,
for me to come to Turkey,
your
and
thing.
I can't talk Turkish, and it's your
That's fine.
idea.
I can help you in all that aspect, but it doesn't mean I'm putting anything. No, 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 darling, me no dance.
I'm not dancing either. What you're talking about? Just, just come. Just join in.
Do you like my natural contour?
Oh, aye. So we obviously showed you the picture that earlier of Danielle's sunburn and her turning into a strawberry and cream squishy. But every summer she wears her sunglasses constant and she ends up wearing natural contour. So see when she puts her makeup on at night when she's got to work, you just see her big white eyes. And she's like, I don't need your contour, I've got my natural one.
Yeah. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
I just don't understand you at all.
That's all right. Not many people can.
Um, so are we back to weekly? Are we fortnightly?
Excuse me, I'm yawning because it is actually like 20 to 1 in
I
the
know we'll
morning.
finish up. Aye, so we're back to weekly. Are we back to what we're doing? Are we
No, I
playing
think that's us
Fire?
going to be back to week. We are
Right.
trying, like, just unfortunately in the summer we do get really busy and it's finding the time. But
And Danielle's also got a shop as well that she sometimes has to work in with her husband during the
as we
day.
says before, guys, anybody that does want to genuinely email us stories and stuff, like we promise we'll try and answer it as honest as possible. But we're no
Right,
professionals.
so all I'm going to say is, going to no do that. No, but um can you make them where I'm not going to have panda eyes? Like, ju think it, my brain, right? It's very blonde and it's full of hilarity. We don't mind answering your daft questions, but go on, no make it look serious.
I see if it's a bam up, just let us know. Like we'll have a joke about
If
it,
you
but don't.
say, oh, going to have a laugh with your listeners, like noise them up and read this out and kid on, I'm asking, that's absolutely fine. But, and that person could have genuinely been because they were only young. I just don't know because
The thing is,
I'm heading
we'll
towards
be
50,
serious.
so
We
I'm
do
not in
think
that
it's
same brainwave.
we do know that like it could be a troll, it could be a hater, but as I says, we were going to address it anyway because if it is genuine, there is a slight 0.0000000
But you do
one
have people
percent.
that kind of mature slower than others and people that have
So yeah, we did
learning difficulties
address
and
it as
things.
best as we can. Um, and do you know what? Thanks for giving us a laugh as well.
That poor boy's probably sitting there with his newborn baby going like that. I still don't know if I can blow a raspberry in his belly.
Mm.
Danielle's not helped me yet.
Well, every child's different, every parent's different. David suits you.
My sons would tell you not to take parenting advice from me. I mean, my son went into school in primary one or primary two and told his teacher I was dancing naked on the tables in the pub, the local pub. I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't even dancing on the tables, let alone being naked, because I would have scared the punters away if I was naked on the tables.
Is that not when you got called in for last orders?
Hmm? You're trying to confuse me?
Yeah, man. You didn't get that at all there, didn't you know?
No, I did. Just bypass it. I mean, I did get barred for that same pub a few years
For
later.
dancing naked on the table. So, I mean,
It wasn't, do you know what it was? It was an old woman that worked behind the bar that didn't like young people. She didn't like the young lasses because she wanted all the young boys and they didn't want her upstairs.
oh, bless you. You too.
I thought I was going to get third time lucky.
One's a
Um,
wish. Yes.
oh, who wants to kiss me?
Meet Danny in the corner.
Get your tongue ready, son. That sounded
I
so
did.
wrong.
I was just about to say that. Like, come out and you says it for me. I was just going, why did you just say that? Doesn't it sound, that sounds so, so wrong.
Anyway, keep your friends close, get rid of your enemies or your toxic people or whatever else. Be safe. Listen, life's for living, life's for enjoying, and life's for looking at your Facebook messages as well. So go and read them and see if anybody's trying to connect with you. It might be me. Anyway, right, we'll go because Danielle needs to get to her bed and I still need to edit this before I go to my bed, so it's something time for you tomorrow. But we will be back next week. If you've got a topic you want us to talk about, this week we weren't going to have a topic. It was just a kind of catch up, and then Aileen lost her way again, as usual. Um, but I will be back next week. God knows what day we'll be recording, but aye, or what time. Anything else you want to say?
Over and out.
Over and out. Take care, everybody. We'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye.
Bye.